Hello peeps and welcome to a very detailed peeping at of Evil Genius 2 World Domination. I was recently invited to Rebellion's Inner Sanctum for a press event for an exclusive look at Evil Genius 2. I was lucky enough to see the game in action, and now I am here to leak all the deets with you, my lovely minions, peeps. So, what is Evil Genius? The original Evil Genius game, launched in 2004, was a single-player, real-time strategy and simulation game developed by Elixir Studios, and I played it lots. While playing the original will certainly give you an edge as an Evil Genius, it is in no way required to jump in and enjoy Evil Genius 2. Evil Genius 2 is a direct sequel of the original, so some names and faces in the game might be familiar to some. This satirical spy-fi lair builder is being developed by Rebellion and will give you the power to become a criminal mastermind. You'll construct your lair, train your minions, defend your operations from the forces of justice and achieve global domination. But how? In this video, I will not only be sharing what I can from the recent devious meeting, but I shall also be taking a deep, penetrating dive into everything we know about the game so far, including detailed looks at the geniuses themselves, henchmen, minions, building, room types, items, research, training, traps and tons more, including a little more about Doomsday Devices. So sit tight for tips on how to become the greatest evil genius the globe has ever seen. I would like to mention that everything we know so far is all in alpha, and I am sure all subject to change and tweaks as development continues. Your first task will be to pick your evil genius. There are 4 to choose from. They also have their own design of Doomsday Device, each with their own distinct power. So far, 2 evil overlords have been revealed. Maximilian, he is your classic evil villain with a good all-round approach. He focuses on large minion numbers. Red Ivan was a henchman in the original game, but has now been promoted to an evil genius in his own right. Red Ivan's special abilities are commanding minions to do it now. They'll run from far and wide to appease the overlord, gaining a temporary boost to their combat abilities. His second ability is Old School, which sees him up to his old tricks of equipping a rocket launcher which fires a devastatingly powerful explosive shot. While we know nothing about the remaining 2, I suspect this intriguing woman will have a strong focus in science. Your evil genius is an underdog. You will never be able to command the types and sizes of armies the world can, so world domination isn't easy. Having a plan is key. After selecting your genius, you will need to choose your lair. While I haven't seen this part of the game in action, it has been said there will be a variety of islands to choose from in different locations, and a campaign mode has also been mentioned. From what I understand, the lair you pick will be your lair for the entire campaign. But you must choose wisely, as the lair also has gameplay effects, such as which forces of justice you will encounter most frequently. The lair plays a pivotal role and could be considered a character of its own. Each time you start a new campaign, you will begin with a small group of minions to get you started. Your lair has multiple levels. You can build stairs for your minions to travel between the levels. A good building tip is to build more sensitive areas of your lair on higher floors, as these locations will be much trickier for enemies to reach. Each lair has confines, locations where you can't dig, so deciding the layout is so important in order to build a base that best suits your needs. Designing each room can be almost like a mini Tetris puzzle. The first thing that struck me about gameplay was just how stylized it was. I'm very much in love with the dated 60s spy-fi aesthetic, from the UI to the in-game assets, but it does all have a modern twist, sometimes even a futuristic one, with some of the gadgets and science available in the game. Build mode is something I paid close attention to. I noticed 4 options: room type, items, cosmetics and loot. Loot we'll talk more on later. For now, I'd like to dive into the other 3. When building rooms, there seems to be no apparent minimum size. You are free to build any size and shape room you wish. it is possible to have multiple doors to access a single room, and the first icon on the build menu is rock, which allows you to place small walls back into rooms to help break up the space and give it that je ne sais quoi. Building can't be simpler. Just select the rock to remove. Your worker minions will spring into action with their Lair Builder 5000. This handy tool can destroy rock, build walls, seemingly paint those same walls, construct equipment, and it is also great for sucking up body bags. When equipment is ordered for rooms, the items are delivered to the depot outside. Your worker minions will travel to the depot and use their handy Lair Builder 5000 to carry the items back to the desired location, where they will promptly construct the items. I've also spied an undo and possible redo button, which is nice. I've been trying my best to work out each room type available. The icons don't seem to be set in stone yet, so here is my best on covering the 16 rooms that appear to be available. Power. Official name of the room is unknown, but it was named Power Plant in the original game. Items such as computer require power to, power them. As your lair expands, you will need to make sure that the lights stay on. You'll find yourself needing to build a few of these rooms as a result. We haven't had a good look at these items, but we have seen the return of the nuclear generator, which provides a medium amount of power to the lair. I'm sure there will be a few different generators, and I suspect that capacitors and high-density capacitors are also likely to return, meaning that as you progress through lair research, you'll be able to unlock better generators that will power more and possibly take up less space. The original game even had a disguised power generator. Will this make a return, I wonder? Ah yes, somewhere for your minions to rest. The Barracks. Here they can restore their vitality and morale. Very important if you don't want them sleeping on the job. A minion dozing off while monitoring security cameras could lead to all your secrets getting back to the forces of justice, which I'm sure I don't need to tell you is bad for the business of evil. Items for this room include beds, lockers and possibly further equipment storage. I have also spied some barracks upgrades on the lair research screen as well, all helping to keep your minions well rested and happy. The mess hall is another location that is very important for your minions to recharge. Here they can eat and restore various stats. For example, the lovely sushi bar item is considered brain food and is preferred by your science minions. Eating this will restore not only vitality but smarts as well. It also doesn't require cooking, I noticed, suggesting self-serve, whereas other counters I suspect will require minions to man them for cooking and serving. The staff room. I know, these minions are now being spoiled. I have to be honest, I don't know much about the staff room other than what I can draw from the original game, with the exception of one item, the video games item. This allows minions to hone their criminal craft even during downtime by playing World Domination the video game. I suspect this relaxation spot for your minions will help restore a variety of stats, possibly mildly improve others, making them more efficient when working. I'm looking forward to seeing what other items this room will have to offer. Looking at a variety of pictures, old and new, it appears it might sport a red carpet and that one of the items might be this sunken seating area. This design might demonstrate just how creative we might be able to get with building, as this looks like a potential small staff room with an open plan design placed right in the corridor. This next icon I'm not 100% sure about. I don't believe it to be the laboratory, as this has been associated with a glass beaker, which makes sense. Whereas this is a brain. That said, I can't see a glass beaker on the menu. Maybe it is that question mark, or is that going to be the Doomsday Device room? I can't be sure, but while I don't have a name for this room, I have reason to believe this room's purpose is more for minion enhancements. Not like training, but more genetics based. I remember a while back the developer speaking of a super serum item, which makes it possible for your minions to exceed their human limits. Guess we'll have to wait and see. With this icon I'm going to guess at an infirmary. They exist in the original game for obvious reasons. Should your minion get injured for any reason, they can seek medical assistance. However, at the moment, we've not been shown the infirmary, so we can only speculate about what this room may contain and look like. The Vault, an extremely important room that holds all your gold and loot. As you run schemes on the world map, More on that later. You gain gold and materials and loot, all required to pay for the Lair's expansion, resources for building the Doomsday Device, and special loot which can be gained for additional advantages. Some loot I've managed to note is the Easter Island head, which seems to be something you can hook into your security network, where it is always watching. The sword in the stone, rumoured to whoever wields it, will never fall in battle. Does that mean this dude is now invincible? I'm really not sure, but it sounds pretty useful. I've also cited the Statue of Liberty's torch, something to do with light shining upon, but how this is useful currently, I'm not sure. Your vault has a fullness indicator on the UI, so you can keep a close eye on how much room you have left to store all your ill-gotten gains. Of course, with all your riches here and agents out to take it, you will want to make sure it is secure, as all the gold in Fort Knox. Which is fine for a mastermind like you, because you can actually acquire the doors of Fort Knox as loot and use it on your own vault. It turns out it was easier to steal the doors of Fort Knox than getting the gold inside. An evil lair would be nothing without its control room. This is the gateway to the world stage, the key to world domination. It is your hub to global operations, and size matters. The bigger the control room, the more minions can work there. The more minions working there, the more you can exploit the world and progress with your Doomsday Device. A small control room is perfectly good to rob your local bank, but with a large control room, you'll be able to pull off mega heists, stealing riches from thousands of kingdoms. Some important items for this room include the computer console, which provides a small boost to scheme rewards, the computer array, which provides a large bonus to scheme rewards, radio repeater, which boosts your broadcast signal. There are data banks, screens, and also the very cool holographic globe, which decreases scheme duration by a large amount across the globe. Not only is this an expensive item to buy and power, but it also proves that the Earth is round. The training room is where minions go for their training, of course. There is an item for every level of training, which I believe can be unassisted or assisted training, meaning a minion can go train alone, or they can have somebody already trained in the area with them for progression to move faster. But we'll cover more on minions and training later. Here is where that question mark is. So I'm going to take this opportunity to touch upon the laboratory. Research and development, where your scientists come to create all kinds of things to assist you on your evil endeavours. Items include a lovely whiteboard, a centrifuge, and also the impact analyzer, the science of smashing things into each other at high speeds. This item helps unlock new research items, like new batons, for example. They tend to be objects that impact other things at high speeds, such objects like heads. Armoury, or possibly named staging post, I'm honestly not sure. I've heard both of these terms, but this room is home to your security consoles that monitor cameras and your security network at large. You can also upgrade to the advanced security station, which has more screens. More screens means more cameras. There is also a guard table where minions sit about with their feet up, waiting to spring into action. If minions detect a threat, an alert will be sent to the nearest staging post to deal with it. Unarmed minions will try to use their fists on all intruders, so while you don't need to build weapon racks, it might be worth it as intruders are bound to be armed. Weapons you research are also kept in this room, nice and easy for your muscle minions to grab in an emergency. I'm not sure of its official in-game name, but this is undoubtedly the location of your cells and interrogation equipment. You don't have to terminate everyone. You can capture enemies, bring them back to a cell, and interrogate them. In the original game, interrogation would increase the loyalty of nearby minions, and if your evil genius was close, would increase your notoriety. It was also possible for the minion doing the interrogation to gain skills from those they were interrogating. So I am excited to see what we get with Evil Genius 2. I do know that brainwashing will be returning, allowing you to take enemies and turn them into your own minions. This is possibly the inner sanctum. This is essentially home to your evil genius, their office. Here they can charge their stats, which can be drained when performing their special skills and have important meetings. Here, your evil genius can ponder their schemes in peace. The casino, a very important part of your base, considered the front line of defence, the honest front to your evil lair. While we will cover more on the casino later, I did want to mention that you can build and decorate and place items as you wish. You can even employ those you want to run it. Some of the items you can place include slot machines, roulette tables and bookmakers for gambling on sporting events across the globe. Tourists will come to your tropical island and will gamble in your casino, which is great for a little side gig as those tourists part easily with their money, especially on items like the bookmaker, where the feed is delayed and the odds are stacked. It is also the first place Forces of Justice agents will see when they come to infiltrate your lair. If you keep them distracted and gambling, the agents' resolve will decrease, making them very ineffective. You may have noticed I skipped an icon near the beginning. This one. This is corridors. Now it is worth noting that you don't have to build them. You can have your rooms all linked together with no corridors, but I wouldn't recommend it. Corridors are not only great for helping minions get about quickly and undistracted, but corridors also serve as a very important part of your base's defences. Something as simple as building a maze from corridors can help keep agents lost within your lair, but they also can house many traps. Your trap network is essential to keeping your base safe, and with traps not placeable in rooms, you'll need to consider your base layout to include corridors and your masterminded trap network. We'll cover traps more later, but corridors are perfect open spaces with smooth walls, no obstacles, allowing you to see agents in the open, clean lines of sight for gun and fist fights. Corridors really are where all the action can be found. So there it is, the rooms, so many with so much going on. I have noted another item, the incinerator, but I'm not entirely sure where it is housed. All I know is it is a great device to cleanly dispose of body-shaped litter that has a tendency to build up in the lair. We have covered many items while checking out rooms. It should be noted that items do tend to have durability, meaning you'll need minions to keep the base in ship-shape condition, so making sure there are enough minions to maintain the equipment as the lair grows will be very important indeed. I am very much looking forward to seeing more items as time passes. Cosmetics is where you can find a bunch of items to improve the overall look and feel of the lair. While I have noted a bunch of these items, I don't know their official names. However, we have seen a pot plant, what looks like weights, possibly a water fountain, a cool egg chair, a relaxing bench, lights and trophy cabinet. All items I believe will have in-game effects, like the trophy cabinet can help improve minions' core stability. I think this means if it is placed by a training item, it can help improve performance. I've also noticed some wall cosmetics such as bookshelves, posters, wall lights. I'm not sure if these are all placeable or if some or all are auto-placed when constructing rooms. It should also be said that if you aren't really into decorating, there is an auto decoration system, should placing plants and chairs be beneath you and is too much a distraction from the bigger picture of world domination. After all, you do have minions to take care of the details for you. Let's talk about minions. We actually know quite a bit now. For a start, minions are randomly generated male and females across a variety of ethnicities. After all, evil is an equal opportunity employer. Loyalty is what counts in this business. Minions can't be directly controlled, but you can give orders and they will do the work, such as building. You confirm and build, they will get it built. If there are stations to be manned, they will man them, as long as they are properly trained. Minions are people too. They have their own personality, needs and wants. Their needs come in the form of vitality, smarts and morale. Vitality is health, smarts is how smart a minion is. For example, a minion with low smarts would be exceptionally bad at security. They won't be able to see through disguises. Agents might be donning to gain access to the lair. They also tired quicker and won't pay as much attention to their screens. Then there is morale. Minions need to be well fed and rested. This makes them ready to spend the day staring at screens and dispatch guards at a moment's notice. They also have traits which can impact on gameplay, but could also result in silly little Easter eggs, making minion watching quite fun, as they can have trait-related animations. Ben here has a fear of cats and is also a computer whiz, which means Ben would love to work in the control room as a technician. This is a clear desire, and I am sure there will be benefits to playing to your minions' strengths, because traits can work for or against you. There is something to be said for watching that workforce, and micromanagement can help you root out weaker minions. You can fire them, or you could execute them. Certainly helps giving a temporary boost to any witnesses to work a little harder. Speaking of traits for a moment, I have been diligently collecting traits for a while now and have found a bunch. I'm sure there are many, many more, but here are the ones I have found so far and what some of them mean, either literally or in terms of gameplay. Training and traits can go hand in hand. For example, training can make certain traits better. Like training Ben in science as a technician could be playing to his strengths. Other traits can be eliminated altogether, such as pacifism. Just have this minion punching things for hours on end until they get used to it. That is to say, with enough combat training, the pacifist trait can be a problem of the past. There are many types of minions, but there are 4 distinct groups, starting with workers. Workers are the minions dressed in yellow. These minions are your main and first workforce. They perform all menial tasks. They are a jack of all trades, but don't trust them with anything too complicated. As noted, you always start a new campaign with some worker minions. Workers can be trained up into one of 3 areas: muscle, deception, or science. Muscle are our minions in orange. They are there to capture or kill anybody who has seen things they shouldn't have. There are 4 levels of muscle minions. Here, you can take a target amount of worker minions and request them to train on the guard trainer in the training room. You can see here the lair has 2 of these trainer items, so it may take some time to train 30 of them, but it will slowly train up 30 workers into guards over time. Guards are the first rung on the ladder for muscle minions, and they are the minions we call when there is trouble needing muscle to resolve. You can take some of those guards and train them further into mercenaries, which allows guards to explore the full range of their potential. From here, I believe you can choose to train them into one of 2 areas, either as a martial artist who excel in hand-to-hand combat, specialised in bringing back enemies alive, broken but alive, great for interrogation, or as a hitman, trained to get away with murder, and great for when you don't have time for that noise of interrogation, just have them terminated. Your muscle workforce are also the main minions you ship out to the world map for heists and other nefarious schemes. I'm sure there will be times where others will be required, but I believe the muscle has the lion's share. Deception, the minions in purple. These all work in your casino and specialise in keeping your enemies misinformed. I'm sorry to say I don't have an image of the deception tree, but I have seen it and made vigorous notes. The first rung on this ladder is valet, your main workforce of the casino. They are there to keep guests and agents occupied. They help run the games. Keeping those agents gambling keeps them from working efficiently. However, valets are also easily distracted themselves by tourists needing assistance and asking questions. I believe valets can go into one of 2 directions. They can be trained as a socialite and finally into a spin doctor. As they increase through the ranks, they become increasingly better at drawing attention of tourists and therefore agents. The chatterbox trait can help a lot with this line of work, especially when a spin doctor, as they help confuse agents, convincing them that this is just a normal casino. There is nothing suspicious behind that door, no evil there, no plans of world domination, all helping to reduce an agent's resolve and suspicion. The second way a valet can be trained is as a counter-agent, the most advanced deception minion. Counter-agents are pro at seeing through disguises and lowering agents' skills. Agents won't leave, but they will perform extremely poorly. Having a nice mix of deception minions will ensure a flawless operation. Science, yet another important group of minions, donated by their green. While totally useless in combat, this brainy bunch not only are your way to repairing damaged equipment, but are also your researchers of new equipment and development of technology. As you can see, there seems to be a small branch of science minions called Technician. A Technician is essential to a lair's maintenance and repairing of equipment damaged by sabotage from agents or overworked generators. Technicians also have an aptitude for plotting and uncovering schemes on the world map, or at least they were in the original game, but thanks to Ben, I believe this is still the case, which means we have stumbled across Ben's dream job in the control room. Next is the scientist. It has been confirmed that all scientists are quite mad in Evil Genius 2, and they work primarily in your laboratory. Workers can train on a blackboard to become a scientist. While technicians can work in a lab, they are fairly poor at it, whereas a mad scientist is just the ticket. Biologists is the next rung of promotion. These minions research more effectively and work better at certain more advanced science research equipment, like biotanks. Small tip, best avoided making minions with hay fever a biologist. If they work with dangerous pollen-spewing plants, they'll lose vitality rapidly. Now, while it hasn't been revealed what the last most highly trained scientist is, to the best of my knowledge, we can draw on the original game, as it is most likely going to be the same or similar. Quantum physicist. They are by far the most efficient researchers, working faster for results than any other scientist in the tree. Now, there is one more special type of staff you can have in your lair, although nothing like minions and very much characters in their own right. Henchmen. Henchmen are upper-class criminals. These characters serve you and can be controlled directly. You can order them specifically to kill that agent or interrogate this person. They also have special abilities. But where do these henchmen come from? How do we get them? Henchmen start as crime lords opposed to the evil genius. They are world leaders of crime. They cause the world stage to change, creating missions and opportunities, changing the landscape of the globe. They play a key role in your strategy. Triggering these rivalries will vary enormously. It could be your activity on the world stage or even inside your lair. Each crime lord have their own side story featuring 3 separate objectives. These are significant optional missions that you encounter on the world map and take time to complete. Pursuing crime lords is a deviation in focus and resources from the main objective. They can be pretty dangerous to tussle with. They can invade your lair with a team of their own goons, break equipment, steal loot, sabotage your Doomsday Device, or even slap you about. If you become incompatible with life, your dreams of world domination are over. So taking these crime lords on are a consideration. As you spread influence and battle their criminal empires, you may be successful at showing them who's boss, at which point you get to decide their fate, join you or face elimination. You can have up to 5 henchmen in your lair, and there is significantly more than that to be discovered, so choose wisely. Should they join, you become worst friends forever, and they become your powerful right hand, your henchmen. While they do have vitality, smarts, and morale, like minions, they also have 2 special abilities unique to their character. We have been introduced to some of these henchmen. Eli Barracuda Jr. This is son of Eli Barracuda from the first game, located in the New York underworld. Eli can be found by committing enough crimes in his territory. His first ability is his legendary charm, the pro of all deception, known as Smooth Operator. You can order him to speak to an agent directly, whereupon he will casually convince them that everything is tickety-boo. This is just a casino, nothing to see here, no commotion, no fuss. His other ability is his silver revolver, making him lethal at long range with 6 bullets. He is also very good in close range with his fists. While Eli is a great charmer of deception, he does technically fall into the muscle category and will be invaluable on the front lines when a fight breaks out. Full Metal Jackie, an Australian Air Force veteran who began to travel the world selling weapons and often found setting up shop in locations of conflict. She could very well be arming your enemies. You could pose as a buyer, but Jackie might also be interested in the biggest weapon you have, that Doomsday Device. She wields a grenade launcher and can be devastating in combat. Her first ability is Fire Sale. She will unleash a barrage of incendiary attacks on your enemies. Her second ability is Handguns, where she will literally hand out guns to your minions in times of attack. Incendio. We don't know masses about him, but he is clearly a man of deception. His first special ability is Magic Trick, which distracts a large number of tourists and agents. And the second is Misdirection, which ignores tourist distractions for a small duration. Jubei, a returning character, only now he is much older. His special abilities are Wind Walk, which allows him to teleport across the island, and Flow Zero, which applies a damage buff with slightly longer duration. This can be stacked. When henchmen use their skills, it can reduce their stats, like smarts, which will need to be replenished. Skills can have cooldowns and other restrictions may apply. And that's it. They are the only henchmen I'm aware of at this time. We've touched upon it quite a bit, but the world map really is the bigger picture that will consume a lot of your time. Uncovering schemes, plotting and carrying out various criminal acts around the globe is what will finance your operation and ultimately bring your goal of world domination to fruition. You will need to rob banks, organise heists, recruit crime lords, gain resources to build your Doomsday Device, and missions will come in all shapes and sizes. I've even heard you might be able to sell the British royal family, kidnap the governor of Maine, or literally bake Alaska. It's rumoured there could be hundreds of potential objectives. Variety is the spice of strife. You'll dispatch minions via the chopper to points of interest to carry out and bring back the goods. However, you'll note the map is broken into different colours. These coloured areas signify the different regions of the forces of justice. They are working against you to prevent your evil genius from achieving their ultimate goal. There are a few groups of justice. I know of Western Hammer Districts, Sabre, and Central Smash Republic. But what does that mean to you, the evil genius, the mastermind? The forces of justice will send agents to your island. There are various types of agents, and we know of some. The first possibly main agent you will see are the investigator agents. These agents are masters of stealth. Their objective is to infiltrate your lair, undetected, and look for targets, points of interest in your base. They then need to leave successfully, get back to their headquarters, and share the secrets of your base so that more specialised agents can come in and tamper with the targets and secrets, mainly to destroy them. They can defend themselves if required, but they are fairly low-level fighters. They are more likely to sneak around and use disguises, like dressing up as minions. Some disguises might be rather good, others might be obviously poor, but all are fairly effective to a standard minion. You will want to prevent these agents from getting into your lair, which is why your first line of defence, the casino, can be so useful. However, if they do get in, stopping them leaving with any intel they may have will become key. Rogue agents. These are highly skilled in thieving. They are good at picking locks and will most likely pass through locked doors with ease. Laser doors, however, may prove a problem for them. These agents will steal your hard-earned gold and loot. Saboteur agents. It's simple. They are here to destroy key equipment in your lair. They come with a lot of explosives and can cause large explosions and fires. Soldier agents. They will come to kill as many minions as possible. So be sure to not send all your best fighters out on schemes. You just might need some experienced fighters in the lair. Agents of justice have vitality, skill, resolve, and suspicion. Their resolve is how well they are performing their job. Reducing their resolve will make them very ineffective. This we covered in some significant detail when we talked about the first line of defence, the casino, and again when training minions along the deception tree. Suspicion, again, can be raised when they are spending time in the casino. What is behind that door? What is that person doing carrying crates through the casino? Suspicion can also be something raised within tourists. So try to avoid having streams of minions travelling through the casino looking suspicious. You can distract agents, capture them, or terminate them. I'm fairly sure if their suspicion reaches 0, the agent will leave, but don't quote me on that. You also used to be able to capture or terminate tourists as well. I hope to see that make a return, seeing as they seem to be able to become suspicious. If a tourist starts poking about, I'm definitely going to want to take some strong action. Curiosity did kill the cat after all. There are many ways to defend your lair and many ways to improve and enhance your efficiency as an organisation of evil. We talked about it briefly when covering scientist minions, but let's take a closer look at the research screen. There are 5 areas of research: global operations, lair, minions, traps, and world domination. Each area seems to have 5 levels of research nodes available, except possibly world domination. I've never seen inside that tab. I think it is safe to assume that each level of the Doomsday Device will need to be researched, resources gathered, and then built. Which means that screen might even look different for each evil genius, given they each have their own Doomsday Device design and power. When we select a research node, we get to see what the node researches, what it unlocks, the requirements necessary to research the nodes, and cost of such a project. Global operations. We can see various research nodes for upgrading your criminal network. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but it could be to do with your reach across the global world map, along with various equipment that can be researched here. For example, this looks like the holographic globe we looked at earlier. Lair. Lots happening in here. Door improvements being possible here, generator upgrades, security upgrades, barracks upgrades, and a variety of items to improve minions' smarts, vitality and morale. So, infirmary and staff room upgrades, for example. Minions. We can see the nodes along the top are upgrades for more capacity for minions within your lair. This seems to be done by allowing minions to store their equipment in the depot. It will be nice to discover what the other lair capacity increases do, as I am sure it isn't a depot storage for minions every time. The nodes seem to be mostly about recharging faster. These here seem to be about faster regeneration of stats for your evil genius when in their inner sanctum. These seem to be the same but for minions or possibly henchmen. These icons appear to be more weapon based, with these weapons focusing on capturing enemies and these to terminate them. But I don't know what these three are. Traps. I don't have a picture of the traps research, but I have seen it and there are a lot of trap options to research. I saw about 17, but there could be as many as 20 to 25 by launch. There seemed to be the space for it. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Traps we know about are boxing glove, bubble cannon, fake safe, giant fan, freeze ray, killer bees, laser disco, shark tank, laser wall, fan trap, poison darts, pinball bumper, magnet trap and Venus spy trap. That's 14. I'm also sure I saw fire traps, conveyor belts, slippery ice or something that makes the floor slippery, and even a robot looking node. Looked a little bit like a robo dog. While a trap by itself is good, combinations of traps are much more effective and a great form of defence should the casino be breached. As mentioned, traps can only be placed in corridors due to health and safety reasons, but we'll certainly be able to have a lot of fun creating obstacle courses for those uninvited agents of justice. We've actually covered quite a bit about defence, the casino, the security network, staging posts, minions patrol. We've looked at traps, but there is one very important item of defence we haven't covered yet. Doors. It makes sense, doors being an effective way of keeping people out of a room you don't want them in. We've spied door upgrades on the research screen and we've seen a few different types being installed. On the research screen we saw reinforced door, which proves to be effective against saboteurs, but rogues can bypass them easily. Here we can see a laser door being built. This door seems to be effective against rogues, but saboteurs can break it easily. So just like traps, some of these doors might be worth using together for more sensitive areas of the lair. Doors also seem to have 3 mode levels. I'm guessing this is potentially how secure the door is being. Each increasing level seems to hold people at the door for longer, meaning it might give more time to spot an invader trying to pass it. So why not level 3 all the time? You'll note that the higher the level, the longer it takes to grant access, meaning your minions are being held up by the doors everywhere, which is less than ideal. Maybe level 1 will work great for barracks, staff rooms, infirmaries and mess halls. Level 2 might be nice for research, power plants and armories, while level 3 might be worth considering on the inner sanctum, vault and Doomsday Device. While we have talked a little bit about Doomsday Devices, speculated how they are made, that each evil genius has their own brand of device with its own unique power, we haven't really seen much in the way of these mysterious devices. I don't have much to show you, but I have seen a bit of Red Ivan's Doomsday Device in action. It is called Havoc, which I'm sure must indicate the nature of his Doomsday Device. Plus, Red Ivan has his rocket launcher, which fires a devastatingly powerful explosive shot. I suspect Havoc might be just as devastating. It also looks pretty red and fiery. I'm sure during the secret meeting I attended, it was mentioned that the Doomsday Devices do need to be tested before they are used. I believe this can attract a lot of attention from the forces of justice, but if you are past that hurdle and are ready to fire, then clicking on the controls of the Doomsday Device will open its, for the want of a better word, launch screen. I've noted that Ivan's Doomsday Device had 3 levels of strength you could choose from when firing the device. It also seemed it required fuel and takes time to launch. While these details are likely to change, I suspect that whatever is required to start the device will increase with each level of strength, and of course we currently have no idea on what these devices do, just that they will all have different effects. When you do wish to activate the device, it seems you can choose where on the map you wish to attack. While I actually have no clue, I have been speculating that this kind of action will change the landscape of the world map should the attack be successful. Once activated, we know the lair goes into high alert. Minions fill the corridors and also man advanced guard posts, and it is possible that all non-essential tasks are put on hold, although I'm not entirely sure. You see, during the countdown to launch, you will draw a lot of attention from the forces of justice. Your lair and minions are on high alert because this is the prime time for agents to invade your base in groups to prevent the device from achieving its goal. And there we have it, everything we know about Evil Genius 2 so far, or so I believe. The devs release information all the time via their misinformation centre on their website, also on their Twitter and Discord. Much of what I have shown you today have come from those locations, along with some exclusive preview gameplay footage. I've been blown away by how polished it all seems, the smoothness of the animation, the feedback from using the UI, the impeccably achieved stylized look, the humour, the depth of the system mechanics, and even just how great the game sounds. I'm sure there will be opportunity for some great Evil Genius 2 ASMR. Not to mention the return of James Hannigan.
You may have heard my music before, within series such as Harry Potter, Command & Conquer, Dead Space, Theme Park, RuneScape, and of course, the original Evil Genius.
Much of the music I've used in this video today has been from the original Evil Genius game, but this piece currently playing is called From Max With Love and is from the new soundtrack currently being made, and it's perfect. Be sure to head over to Steam to wishlist Evil Genius 2 for yourself. There is a link in the description below. And subscribe here for more Evil Genius 2 content coming to this channel in the future. I'd like to thank the amazing folks at Rebellion for letting me into their inner sanctum and sharing this gem of a game. I for one can't wait to play it right here, lots. Be seeing you, minions.